I call to order a meeting of the Watchung Borough School District Board of Education for November 20th, 2025 at 7 p.m. We please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to a meeting of the Board of Education of the Borough of Watchung. Please be advised that this and all meetings of the board are open to the public and media, consistent with the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Laws of 1975, and that the advance notice required therein has been provided. This is a regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Borough of Watchung at which formal action may be taken. This meeting is being live streamed on the district website, where a recording of the meeting also will be posted. The public will have an opportunity to be heard as shown on the agenda at points in the meeting provided for the public to address the board. Recording or photographing, other than for private personal use, requires the consent of parents and guardians whose children may be included in the image. Can I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Mrs. Amadeo.
Here.
Mrs. Harvey.
Here.
Mrs. Duet.
Here.
Mrs. Maddox.
Here.
Mrs. Agliaro.
Here.
Mr. Frage, Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Kraft, and Mrs. Santos are absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, so for presentations, we have a referendum update from Connor O'Brien from Legacy Construction Management, but he was unable to attend, so he sent an update to be read out on his behalf. At Valley View Middle School, they contacted Advanced Roofing to address an area that needs to be resealed on the Valley View gym roof. Also at Valley View Middle School, ongoing construction in the courtyard includes that the railing has been completed. The shade structure, south structure, continues and is near completion. The north structure is on hold due to safety adjustments that need to be made. The exit door exterior grates to be completed by the end of the month, and landscaping is to be installed in the spring by the facilities. Then the sports courts, the shed is part of an ongoing conversation, but looking to separate it from the fields. A new 6-foot black vinyl fence is ongoing, and the sports court work will begin and is expected to take 3 to 4 weeks. All materials are ordered and will be on site when the area is ready. For closeout with Northeastern, the library lights have been fixed, and the replacement window sill is on order and is expected the week of November 24th. And that's it. Do we have Morgan Landolfi on student travels?
And our student note.
And a student, Noah Chen from Valley View Middle School.
We have a presentation, sorry.
There you go.
There it is.
Ta-da.
All right, so my name is Morgan Landolfi, and I was the group leader for Valley View's first international trip this past summer. We traveled in August to Belize. You can go to the next slide. So our trip was a specific STEM trip. It was called Conservation from Ridge to Reef. And this is just a map of, we flew into Belize City, but we went all over the country and then flew out of Belize City. Spent 8 days there. Next slide. This is our awesome group. We had 8 student travelers and 1 parent who joined us. And I just wanted to recap some of the really exciting things that we got to do. Next slide. So first we had the Kaya region, and while we were there, we did so much, but just a few of the highlights are that we got to participate in some ecological rainforest activities and zip line on our very first day, which was the highlight for a lot of people. You can see in the picture next to where we're zip lining, that's one of the ecological studies that we did where we were classifying the invertebrates that we found in the water and working with local scientists at a local NGO. That same day, we actually got to go out and capture bats and actually take data on the bats that will be used by that NGO. We participated in a protected area research and compliance trek, and we also took a guided tour of one of the ancient Mayan archaeological sites in the area, which is a group picture to the right. You can go to the next slide, please. Next, we went to Punta Gorda, where you can see two of the girls are visiting a sustainable farm to discover how the agricultural practices are linked to reef health. We also learned about Mayan culture at a local village and got to do a lot, but one of the highlights was making our own tortillas from scratch. We explored the Port Honduras Marine Reserve, and we supported a biodiversity project during reforestation. So we planted a bunch of trees along a riverbank. And our final stop was the southern coast. We got the opportunity to snorkel the longest barrier reef in the Western Hemisphere. We visited a marine station and worked with the scientists there, so they took us out snorkeling. They were able to identify a lot of what we were seeing. We also worked with them to dissect the invasive lionfish that they have there. And so we were able to collect data on what those lionfish are eating that they'll use. And we also participated in a beach cleanup activity. So Noah is going to share his student experience from the trip.
Okay, so hi, I'm Noah, and I'll be giving my speech today. So over the summer break, I went on the school trip to Belize, and I really enjoyed it for many reasons and learned hundreds of new things that I never knew before. This trip has enriched my education in ways that no classroom or video could ever do. Being there in person, seeing, hearing, and doing things firsthand really helped me learn and create memories that would last a lifetime. One of the most memorable parts of this trip was learning about the Mayan culture. I had read about the Mayans prior to this trip, but actually seeing and walking through their ancient ruins made me realize that it was way cooler than I expected. I got to make chocolate and tortillas from scratch and watch a live demonstration of a Mayan technique to make a roof of a traditional house from giant leaves. Being there and actually interacting with the people and participating in the activities really helped me understand the effort that goes into making their homes and food. It was amazing to imagine how people back then lived, and to actually try some of their everyday tasks myself really had a lasting impact. I also learned much about the Belize Barrier Reef, or the second largest reef in the world. We studied the ecosystem of coral and learned about manatees. Learning that increased boat traffic and illegal poaching are making the manatee population decline reminded me that human actions have environmental impacts that are hidden to us if we don't find out what's going on in the world. When we didn't see any manatees on our outing, this brought home the point that their population has declined significantly. Another unforgettable memory I made is ziplining over the vast rainforest. I got to experience seeing the rainforest as far as the eye could see. I had never before seen a rainforest as expansive as the one I saw. When I hear news about human deforestation, I remember the beautiful landscape and imagine it all disappearing. It's difficult to picture all that land just being chopped down. It really brings home the point. It really brings to life the scale of human destruction that is occurring and the amount of wildlife that is affected when we lose so much forest. Another part of the trip that meant a lot to me was helping the local community during our beach cleanup. Working side by side with my friends and instructors, picking up plastic pellets called nurdles really showed me that even the smallest efforts can make a big difference. Nurdles are small pellets that serve as the raw material to make plastic. Picking up those small nurdles under the hot sun wasn't easy, but when I looked back and saw how much we collected, I was surprised. I didn't even realize the plastic was there in the first place. It makes me appreciate how fortunate I am to have access to clean spaces, and it also reminds me of the importance of taking care of the environment. This journey to Belize has taught me more than any second-hand experience could. I didn't just learn facts. I experienced them. From learning about Mayan culture and history to understanding the delicate balance of ocean life and how to help protect the environment. This trip opened my eyes to a part of the world that is so different from my everyday life. I returned home not only with new knowledge, but also with new respect for nature, culture, and community. I would also like to thank Ms. Landolfi, who was a great group leader and really made the trip like a memorable one. Thank you.
Thank you both.
Sounds like it was amazing. Thank you for coming and sharing your
wonderful.
experiences with us.
Thank you for having me.
Sounds great.
I have like
Morgan has, I was going to say.
Do you want to switch back? You can go to the next one. So we want all of our students to be able to have the opportunity to have an experience like Noah had in Belize. So the next trip that I've organized will be in 2027, and we're bringing a group of students to Japan. You can go to the next slide. So again, it's a jam-packed itinerary, but just some of the highlights is that we'll be with a STEM expert touring Tokyo and seeing one of Japan's tallest buildings. And we'll also get to visit a disaster prevention park where really hands-on they'll learn about earthquake simulation and how to survive different natural disasters. All of the students are really excited to visit the Cultural Center for fans of anime and manga, since that's very popular with some of our students. And something that I'm really excited about is that we'll get to go to JAXA, which is kind of like the Japanese equivalent of NASA, and work with them to do a lot of hands-on experiments and activities. And just like in Belize, we're really making sure that while we're learning all these STEM topics, we want to infuse the culture as well. So we'll participate in a Japanese tea ceremony and visit a temple, and then we will also go to a art museum that's your kind of part of the art, so it brings the A into STEAM. We actually had this tour fill up within the first 24 hours of opening it up, so we're excited to have an even bigger group and continue our student travel opportunities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're excited.
It's an amazing opportunity that we're able to provide for our students.
Yes, and I will say, it's new for Watchung Borough. Morgan and a few other teachers came when I first came, and I'm thrilled that it's been able to grow to a place where you'll be able to continue to do more tours like this. It's exciting.
Thank you. You ready to do the NJ Quality Single Accountability Continuum, NJQC?
I don't know if I'm ready, but we're ready. Erin, could you put up the few DPR slides? There you go. So in the state of New Jersey, for the Department of Education, there is monitoring for compliance, for a number of indicators that the state and the Department of Education have identified as what makes a high-performing school district. When you're a high-performing school district, you need to only go through this process every 3 years. And lucky us, it's our turn to have our QSEC monitoring. As part of the monitoring, I can't see here and as part of the monitoring, there are 5 areas that are reviewed, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Part of the process is having conversations so people know this monitoring is happening, so people understand what is being looked at. This is our cover page. It requires the input of all of these people. We have, with the board and each committee, gone through. We have, with our principals and leadership team, with special services, with the WBEA, our teaching association, have gone through the indicators. I know attached to the agenda is the copy of what we are required to do. We included the entire copy and the notes because what is being voted tonight is our self-assessment. I'm going to go to that in just a second. That is our district view of what we are prepared for, right, in that monitoring, what we have met. The indicators are, for us in the self-assessment, where we start after tonight, the DPR is approved by the board. That certified resolution goes to the state, which will allow them to do their part in releasing data, which I'll share in just a second. And then we have our in-person review of the documents. They actually come into the district and audit files, audit documents, are in the buildings, are in the classrooms, and following that monitoring, we have our QSAC report from the county and the state. Our date isn't until January 20th. So when you see some of these notes, you know we have that opportunity. The first pieces of the review are happening. They've been going through curriculum and instruction already, looking at the various curriculum documents, have given huge compliments to our leadership team for the updates since 3 years ago's QSAC. As a matter of fact, they're using some of our documents as models for other districts, and I hope that Ms. Fickner and Ms. Kidd are very proud of that because those compliments are few and far between in this process. So that's started already. We've had our facilities walk through with the business office and Ricky Boyd, our buildings and grounds person. Again, another really positive experience. I don't know if you want to say anything at this point before I go to the other slides, but just think.
Basically, we just had our walkthrough, and we got a lot of compliments on the cleanliness and the maintenance of our building. They were really happy with everything they saw. So Ricky was there, and he was able to tell his custodial staff how much they apprecied it.
Right, but that's also done, though.
Yes,
right?
and it's
that,
finished.
That piece of the monitoring is complete. So those types of things, I guess that's what I'm saying. Those things are finished, but our actual monitoring is not until January. Erin, if you go to the next slide, please. So there are, as I said, 5 areas: instruction and program, fiscal management, governance, operations, and personnel that's looked at during this monitoring. And there are, could you go to the next slide, please? There are indicators for each area. This is an example from fiscal management. And again, this is our self-assessment of what we've identified we have. You can see our notes of what we are looking at. You will also notice that that's the district. The county score doesn't go in until January. And in the case of, say, instruction and program, you might have seen a 40%, right, instead of 100%. That's because we don't have the ability to upload the performance reports, that kind of thing. When we certify our district performance review, our self-assessment, that triggers for the state to begin to upload those other documents. And that also lets us know if there's anything we need to do correctively before January. So again, example of indicators. Erin, next please. This is the instruction and program page, and you can see what the point values are. We are not able to add that. That is, again, an example of what the county has to add for us to be able to have any of those point values. Next, Erin. Oh, that's it. Oh, I thought I put in a different slide. So when they come in person in those 5 areas, they will randomly, right, pull files from operations or from personnel. They come in person into the district. And again, in January and following that, when we have our report, we'll finish telling the community. Any questions? Because again, it is supposed to be a known collaborative process. You know, we went through it.
Questions?
Great. So it is on the agenda, the DPR, the self-assessment, to be approved, and then Karen and her team will get the certified resolution to the state tomorrow.
Great, thank you. Who wants to read out the election results?
Oh, I get to.
You want to?
You want to do it?
No,
or-
you could.
I was going to say, that's usually the only fun thing I get to do all year. The annual school election for the Watchung Borough School District in the County of Somerset was held on November 4th, 2025. 5,251 registered voters participated with, there are 5,251 registered voters for our community. 2,970 cast their ballots. The official results were certified yesterday. So for the following 3-year term, we welcome to the Board of Education Letitia Marcellus, Sahil Trika, and Mr. Richard Desiano. So congratulations. We're thrilled to have you join the board. You'll be getting a lot of information now that you're certified. So we'll look forward to having you all. Thank you. And one welcome.
Hi, Adam. You want to keep going and do enrollment?
Sure. Enrollment, again, you'll see the impact of the lower kindergarten class overall. That is the primary change. There's nothing significant this month from last month in the enrollment.
So I'm going to give a report this month, and this is part of our new goal to improve our communication. So when I joined the board in 2024, the district was emerging from a complete transportation failure and navigating a significant financial crisis. Per pupil spending lagged behind the state average and neighboring districts, and the district operated without a strategic plan, goals, or clear direction. Facility issues were so severe that buckets were placed in the lunchroom to manage leaks during rainstorms, and parents were attending board meetings to complain about classroom temperatures. There was a referendum that needed to be implemented. Turnover in the business office had resulted in a new superintendent and business administrator. Thank you for joining. And state assessment scores had declined from historic highs. The work before us was substantial. We quickly recognized that meaningful progress would require each one of us. Collaboration is a core value outlined in our vision statement. And guided by that value, we rolled up our sleeves and got to work. Today, our transportation system is operating reliably. The budget has been rebuilt with sustainability and academic improvement at its core. Program cuts have been halted, and we have added teaching positions. Per pupil spending has begun to align with surrounding districts and the state average. We have established a 5-year strategic plan, set district and board goals, repaired the roof, reached the final stages of referendum implementation, restored stability in the business office, and most importantly, our student achievement scores are rising. These accomplishments were not easy, and they were not achieved by any one group alone. They required the collective effort of the board, administration, teachers, staff, and the support of our community. We faced difficult decisions, including the decision to raise school taxes. These decisions were made collaboratively by one of the most diverse teams I have ever had the privilege of serving on. The work is challenging and not without conflict, but we continue because every person at this table believes deeply in public education and understands the value of what we do. Our next major challenge will be planning for increasing enrollment. The demographic study in the regionalization report projected an enrollment increase of approximately 20% for Watchung. Addressing this will again require strong teamwork. Our goal is to work in partnership with the town council and the broader community to find sustainable solutions. Public education is a cornerstone of our country, and it benefits everyone, whether they have children in the schools or not. Strong public schools build a skilled workforce, strengthen the economy, reduce crime and poverty, and support a healthy democracy by ensuring that all students have access to knowledge and opportunity. Now I'm going to give a report on the progress on our board goals. So at our June retreat, the board set 3 goals. Action plans for each were then created and approved at the October board meeting. Our first goal is to establish and maintain clear norms, protocols, and operating procedures to ensure effective, respectful, and transparent governance aligned with the district's mission and vision. We have completed the required training for this and will be scheduling a working meeting early in the new year to begin developing a board governance handbook. The second goal is the board will continue to engage in professional development to build upon the successful New Jersey School Boards Association Board Academy Board Certification to achieve the Carol E. Larson Master Board Certification. This certification requires 10 additional hours of professional development within 2 years. Since June, we have completed 2 additional training sessions and have another planned for February. At this pace, we may actually achieve this certification within 1 year rather than 2. Goal number 3 is to clearly communicate how the Board of Education decisions and actions align with district goals, ensuring transparency, accountability, and strategic coherence. So the district currently has 2 academic goals and 1 culture goal. The first is to implement new initiatives to enhance student achievement. The second is to ensure systems are in place to identify and support students facing academic challenges, fostering equity and access to learning. And the third is to foster student and staff engagement and a positive culture. Much of what I've reported tonight highlights the board's efforts towards achieving these goals. For example, prioritizing academic achievement in the budget allowed for us to purchase new textbooks, curriculum, and programs, and to fund a supervisor of instruction, which is directly supporting district goal number 1. Additionally, investing in new evaluation and progress monitoring tools and adding a basic skills teacher strengthens our ability to identify and assist students who need support, addressing district goal number 2. Finally, culture flows both upward and downward within any organization. By demonstrating collaboration and respect in our interactions with each other and with the public, the board helps cultivate a positive culture throughout the district, advancing district goal number 3. Move on to the principal's report. Okay. Principal's report.
Hello, good evening. All right, we're going to start off with our parent-teacher conferences. We're held at Bayberry on November 3rd and 5th, and we are grateful to see so many families come in and talk about their children's progress. The partnership between home and school continues to make such a positive difference for our students. Both schools spent time learning about Diwali this month. Classrooms were filled with color and creativity as students, staff, and parent volunteers worked together to share stories, traditions, and hands-on activities. It was a wonderful celebration of culture and community.
At Valley View, marking period 1 officially ended on November 5th, and report cards were made available in the Genesis Parent Portal on November 14th. We appreciate our families for taking the time to review their children's progress and continue to support their learning at home. Students and staff honored Veterans Day on November 3rd by wearing red, white, and blue and participating in thoughtful classroom conversations. Our students showed real appreciation for the service and sacrifice of our veterans, and were proud of the respect they demonstrated. On November 12th and 13th, students in grades 4 through 8 participated in the NJSLA Fall Field Test. They completed assessments in math, reading, and writing on the new testing platform, and we were impressed by their focus and effort throughout the 2 days. Our geometry students also took part in the AMC 10 mathematics contest on November 13th. The AMC 10 is a 75-minute, 25-question exam designed for students in grades 10 and below, covering topics such as algebra, geometry, number theory, and probability. It gives students a chance to stretch their problem-solving skills in a unique and exciting way and serves as the first step toward qualifying for the United States team in prestigious international competitions, including the International Mathematical Olympiad. We are very proud of our students for taking this challenge.
Bayberry participated in the Bullies to Buddies program this month, where staff, students, and parents were trained in this empowering approach to help students confidently respond to unkind behavior. The program was enthusiastically received by all stakeholders, and we extend a special thank you to the PTO for bringing this valuable initiative to our school.
Thank you. We also had some bullying assemblies at Valley View that were presented in an interactive game show style, where kids were looking at scenarios and deciding whether they crossed that line or not. That was received really well. There was a separate assembly for grades 5 through 6 and 1 through 7 and 8. And then we had a follow-up parent presentation last night in our library. Picture retakes will take place tomorrow at Valley View for any student who requires them, whether they were absent or they just didn't like their photo. And we're also excited for the WEF-sponsored Friendsgiving celebration happening tomorrow at Valley View. This event always brings such warmth to our building and reminds us how special our community is.
Our Adopt a Family drive is now underway at both schools. We are grateful for the generosity our families show each year as we come together to support neighbors in need. Thank you to everyone who has already contributed, and please feel free to continue sending in gifts. At Valley View, basketball season has officially begun, and we're thrilled to see our student athletes back on the court. Our girls' first home game is December 1st, followed by the boys' game on December 3rd. We hope you'll join us in cheering on our teams. As we look ahead to the Thanksgiving holiday, we want to extend our warmest wishes to the Board of Education and to our entire community. May the days ahead bring rest, connection, and moments of gratitude with the people who matter most. We are truly thankful for the support and collaboration that make our schools such special places for children to grow and learn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Erin, if you start, there you go. So my talk tonight starts all the way back after the last board meeting, and here we are at the Harvest Festival. Your Board of Education are the Watchung Borough Chili Champions. They'll be getting their trophy in a couple weeks. There's our own WEF, Angela, who was gathering votes, and some other friends who were with us that afternoon. Getting ready for the scarecrow stroll and the gardening. It was really a lovely day for the board and the borough together. So thank you and congratulations, board members. We also, I know it seems a long time ago for you guys, but we had the dances here at Valley View over the Halloween. Erin, there's a lot of these. The students were able to be in dancing here in the APR and the gym. I want to give a shout out to the many staff that you'll see in all of these pictures at the dances, at the trunk or treat, at the parades here at Valley View during the Halloween lunch. Everybody made the holidays special, made everybody have an opportunity to contribute however they wanted to, in costume, not dancing or volleyball or not. This in particular, this close-up, you can see these in the background. Is that Kevin? Who made those, Kevin's class? So in Kevin O'Connell's classes, you can see who are on the headstones, the decorations. They're all explorers, and it has information on the different explorers. So they were even able to find a way to tie it into instruction, and it was a lot of fun. and looked really cute. Here we're at the trunk or treat, our own officer Mike getting into the act. I guess his costume was obvious. There you are, Mr. Kraft. We had, again, for us, to have the board be as involved in the community is really a wonderful thing. It is a lot of work, right, for everybody who does all of this programming. Wow. Our PTOs, look how cute. What? Oh, Aaron, my microphone stopped working. Where did it stop? Thanking people, probably. So we're, again, very, very blessed, not just with the board involvement, but to have a community that works so hard. Our CPAG parents, PTO, WEF, to put together all of these different opportunities to come together. And it's a lot of fun besides. So, yep, and there's our borough representatives, our third grade team at Bayberry, the day of our parade. Is that you? Yep, there's Ms. Victor and me. There you go. It is a little dark. And the office staff, I have to say, Nona made a hit. And here at Valley View, all of us were, where's Waldo? There's the whole staff shot. But for the students during lunch, again, these Halloween centers is post, but it was just a lot of fun. You can see a lot of activities, a lot of opportunities for students to have fun. This picture is a special picture because for the first time, I know they get better, but that's the only one I had of the three of us being honored. So I know, Aaron, move to the next one, just there you go. So for the first time, our Valley View and Bayberry staffs were able to come together here at Valley View for professional learning. And on that day, the Hindu Association that we partnered with last year to learn about Holi came to honor the staff. It was an event called Guru Vandana, and that is basically teacher appreciation and the valuing of wisdom. They honored each teacher. They provided a gift, and the speaker really resonated, I would say, with the entire staff, just talking about the importance of sharing that teaching culture. Following Guru Vandana, we did have the opportunity for our staff to engage in professional learning, and it was our whole staff. Those were paraprofessionals. I think this is our Valley View staff. That opportunity, again, to have uninterrupted professional learning, to be able to articulate, to be able to write curriculum as a team is really important, and we'll look for other opportunities. And then at lunch, we had a special dessert s'mores bar because we want more of these opportunities to happen. But it was really a wonderful day. It was really, again, special. We use that word, but in this case, it was something we hadn't had that opportunity. We went past the picture pretty quickly, but everybody was involved. You see our paras, you see our business office, you see our custodians. Ricky was helping set up the whole breakfast for the staff, and it is wonderful that we come together, there you were, in that way. So again, thank you to all the staff, because this is a lot of work to organize. It's a lot of work to do these events during the day, in the evenings, in the summer, traveling, whatever it is. So thank you all. I also just need to, that's the end of the PowerPoint part. Thank you. Oh, that's where we're going to end it? Oh, wow. There you go. Okay, that wasn't me. I said we were done. Perfect. But it is cute. On a more serious note, because this is important and serious, and I don't want to take away from it. I need to thank the community for embracing our see something, say something. especially in this case as it relates to safety and security in our schools. It's really important to make sure that the information that gets shared around in the community is accurate and verified. In this case, a number of people reached out to confirm if in fact we had ICE activity here at Valley View School. We did not. There has not been ICE activity at Valley View or Bayberry School. I understand that photographs of an arrest have been circulated. We did speak with the Watchung Police. They confirmed it was not a local police operation. And I've been asked to share that the Immigrant Trust Directive issued by New Jersey's Attorney General significantly limits the police's ability to assist any other agency in their work. So local police are not often contacted about activities. They did not have information on what was in the picture that was being shared. I can also confirm, according to the Watchung Borough Police, no local persons have been reported missing. It is something about Watchung Borough that I will say, again, special is overused tonight, but the care and concern that the community has expressed and the gratitude that I have for all the people that sought out facts in the face of many, many rumors is something that does set this community apart. And I hope you will continue to see something, say something. I hope you will continue to reach out to people for facts and not continue to, follow the rumor trail or to add to that, because in that way, when we're an informed community, we also can respond in a much more powerful way. So thank you for all of those people who reached out. If there are any additional questions about this, I do refer you back to the Watchung Borough Police. All of my information is from them. And then finally, as our principal shared, we are looking forward to Thanksgiving. We do have the early dismissal on Wednesday, November 26th. For the holiday, the district is closed Thursday and Friday, November 27th and 28th. And I will echo your comments of wishing everybody a safe holiday with family and friends, time to reflect on many, many blessings. And just for me personally, I am grateful to be a part of such a warm and welcoming community. Thank you. Yes.
Do you have a business administrator report?
Yes, it's so exciting. So in October and November, this is what they call reporting season. So we are working on mini reports with initials like ASSA, Chapter 44, M1, CMP, MYBR, odd sum, etc. So very fun time, but we are doing it. And that's going to take us right through to the end of, mid-December, pretty much, to finish all this reporting, along with, of course, our CUSAC and everything else going on. I just want to say that on the agenda tonight is the approval of the CMP, which is maintenance report, and M1. These are just reports showing our square footage, and we have to do a certain dollar amount of maintenance a year. So that's what you see on the agenda tonight. Also on the agenda, you'll see something called the U.S. Omni and TSACG as a 403B plan administrator. So this is something that this district hasn't had before. We've been through payroll, managing the 403Bs and the 457s as a district ourselves. We have vendors come in, they speak with the staff. You can invest in your money. It's totally an at will. But what we are hoping to do now is have an administrator of that plan. That doesn't affect anybody. There's no cost to the employees. There's no cost to the district. But they would take over just the administration. It's actually really important because there are new regulations and there's an act called the Secure 2.0 Act. There's a lot of requirements, reporting requirements, compliance that like a business office the size of, 2 to 3 of us could never keep up with. This isn't something that we have the skill set for. So this is really going to be a win-win for us. It also, to the employees, all of us, will offer additional vendors and plans. So if there's an employee that really wants to invest in something we don't currently have, this will bring them that ability. They have, many options available. So, and again, it's no cost to any of us. And I think that is, also, you also see something called the cafeteria plan to 2025 flexible spending. That again is, that's to put aside payroll, put aside money through payroll for medical and dental. I think a lot of you probably have that in companies, and we also have that. That's something that has to be approved every year. That's it.
And Monday night is the parent information meeting for Right at School, the new vendor for our before and after school program. They will be at Bayberry, you might need to say this, Bayberry School, 7 o'clock in the APR in person. If you're not able to attend and have a burning question, please email that to Karen Bishop Johnson so she can make sure your question gets answered Monday night.
That's it.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to committee reports. Mrs. Jewett, do you have a report for the curriculum committee?
Okay. Alrighty. In attendance was myself, Fatima Santos, Jessica Maddox, and Jennifer Aguilera, President, Dr. Glazer, Denise Fickner, Karen Kidd. Follow-up. An update was given on the referendum field and outdoor learning commons. The canopy is being installed and plantings will be done in the spring. The field is being prepared as long as weather permits. The NJSLA field test was given in grades 4 through 8. Students were tested on the previous year's material. This was an opportunity for students to become familiar with the format and the test site. There was a mixed reaction from Valley View students, with some using the time allotted and others finishing quickly. Bayberry School is developing an action plan for a self-contained LLD classroom to address the language and learning needs of students who qualify. Right at School, a before and after school program being offered for our children, is waiting for licensing. The program will be presented to parents at a town hall meeting on November 24th. There are plans to begin in January. Split classes, such as combining a 3rd and 4th grade class, has been discussed for Bayberry School. However, at this time, there's not a need to combine different grades. The administration has been working on the 2026-2027 school calendar. It was decided to keep schools closed on Election Day for school safety, for student safety. From Bullies to Buddies webinar donated by the PTO was well received by 3rd and 4th grade Bayberry parents. Staff also came away with tools that could be used in the classroom. Earlier grade teachers expressed their interest in this helpful webinar. Valley View families attended a presentation, Bullying Awareness for Parents. This interactive workshop was presented by Hearts and Hands Professional Development on November 13th. The NJDOE published a guidance regarding parental opt-outs based on religious objections. The process and conditions for individual opt-out requests include degree of notice to parents of curriculum content, the provision for alternative instruction for the students excluded from instruction, and the process for granting or denying requests. All approved curriculum for core instructional materials are made publicly available to ensure transparency for families and communities. Watchung already has in place an opt-out form for health and science. Administrators are looking to use one form for any other opt-outs. New Jersey District Performance Review, it's called a DPR. What is on the agenda for tonight is the district's self-assessment for the 5 monitored areas. In several areas, including the area of instruction and program, is waiting for state data to be added to the district score of 40%. Watchung scored itself 100% in fiscal management, 100% in governance, 100% in operations, and 82% for personnel. As of this meeting, we did not receive the finalized WBEA contract. Thank you.
Thanks. And personnel's gone up since then, but yay, we're good. That's from that presentation.
Right.
The committee had also asked Ms. Marmello, the interim director of special services, to just give a description of what an LLD program is. Unfortunately, she went home ill. She has laryngitis, so I'm going to read it out, what she gave us. The Learning and/or Language Disabilities LLD program offers a modified curriculum and specialized instruction in small, supportive, self-contained environment serving children who have similar needs. Students receive individualized and small group instruction from a certified special education teacher, and all lessons are aligned to the New Jersey Student Learning Standards. When appropriate, students participate in their grade level homeroom for selected non-academic activities as outlined in their IEPs. The program itself emphasizes a hands-on, multi-sensory, language-based approach to promote growth in reading, writing, and mathematics. Social and interpersonal skills are nurtured through a positive classroom behavior system. By providing instruction at a slower pace with much repetition and specialized materials, the program fosters a greater academic success for those students.
Thank you. Okay, Administration Finance. Mr. Frage isn't here, so I will read his minutes for him. The meeting was on November 11th at 5 p.m. In attendance were myself, Mr. Frage, Dr. Julie Glazer, Karen Bishop-Johnson, Ricky Boyd, Jessica Maddox, and Connor O'Brien. We had an update on facilities and referendum projects. The Outdoor Learning Commons is nearing completion with final inspections ahead, and referendum projects overall are in their final stages. Operational compliance and monitoring, the district passed the quality assurance checklist walkthrough. District performance review state monitoring items are progressing well, as we saw in the presentation. They are complete. Programs and student services. The Right at School aftercare program is advancing through licensing steps. A new learning and language disabilities classroom is being developed for students. Administration and budget. A draft of the district calendar is being prepared. The transition to a third-party administrator, TPA, for 403B and 457 retirement accounts is underway to support compliance, and the budget planning cycle is beginning. And under technology, the district is exploring Diligent, previously known as Board Docs, to improve document management and overall board operations. Policy Committee, Mrs. Amadeo?
The Policy Committee met on Wednesday, November 12th at 5:30 p.m. virtually. I was present along with Phyllis Jewett, Adam Kraft, Jenna Gugliaro, Dr. Glazer, and Pinky Nielsen. We had a laundry list of policies that needed to be addressed in advance of the CUSAC review. Up for a first reading this month from that CUSAC review is Bylaw 0173, Duties of Public School Accountant. Policy 1620, Administrative Employment Contracts. Policy 5512, Harassment, Intimidation, and Bullying. Others that were discussed that are not on the agenda for tonight, Regulation 5200, Attendance, and Policy and Regulation 4212, Attendance for Support Staff. Additional first reading documents, Policy 5512, Harassment, Intimidation, and Bullying. Did I say that already? I did. Sorry. And Policy Regulation 3218, Use, Possession, or Distribution of Substances. I don't think I missed one.
Yeah, just the second reading.
Right. The one. Yep. Up for a second reading, we actually found two policies that had passed a first reading last year and were not fully adopted, but only one is up tonight.
That is correct. The other one, I do not believe
we got to
is
it.
done.
It'll be done for next month. So Policy 2200, Curriculum Content. There are about 9 other policies and regulations that are on the docket for December, and the Policy Committee will be in communication throughout the month to make sure these are ready to go.
And it was a big lift. Thank you. I think for just the public, and I know that the Echo Sentinel sent in a question. Many of the things are existing policies that had policy updates or policy alerts since our adoption, some of them a month or two, of course, after our adoption, so it did make it a little bit easier to work our way through just the updates. And thank you all for your willingness. It's a lot.
Thank you. Ms. Maddox, personnel?
Now it's you. Here. Try.
There you go. All right. We met on November 13th, 5:40 to 7:30, as myself, Danielle, Dory, and Jennifer, and Julie, Dr. Julie Glazier in attendance. Due to privacy and confidentiality, there's minimal information that I have tonight, in addition to repetition from some of the other committees. So I have one update.
After 2 hours.
Yeah, the portion of the curriculum supervisor recruitment. The job description is being finalized and the posting is imminent. There are multiple internal and external candidates that are interested, and the recruitment has been delayed due to prioritizing the special education needs position that needs to be filled. So that was the update for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Quick and easy.
Yes. And on to the next.
Despite the meeting.
Yeah. It was a long one, but obviously.
Great, thank you. Moving on to the board liaison reports. Mrs. Maddox, do you have something for legislation?
Yes. So I'm going to go back September through November of some of the updates on here. The first one was the labor movement instruction, which was grades 6 through 12, Bill A-1682, S-1054. And this was signed September 3rd, 2025, which in summary requires districts to include instruction on U.S. and New Jersey labor history, major strikes, unionization, and the collaborative bargaining process, which applies to grades 6 through 12 within social studies standards. The second one is Latino and Hispanic history instruction, K through 12. The bill, which is new legislation, and state board standards. This was signed September 29th, 2025, which requires the State Board of Education to ensure social studies standards, including Latino and Hispanic history. The district must sign or must integrate accurate, culturally relevant K through 12 instructions reflecting these contributions. The third, which is Teachers' Pensions and Annuity Fund, which is TPAF, re-enrollment changes. Bill A-1675 and S-2078, which was signed October 1st, 2025, extends break-in service limits for former educators returning to TPAF. Standard gap increases from 12 to 10 years and up to 15 years in certain cases. No additional employer costs. May support recruitment of experienced teachers returning to the field. That was the last one.
Thank you. Do you have a report for the Somerset County Educational Services Commission?
No updates.
Mrs. Amadeo, do you have a report for Somerset County School Boards Association?
We met this week along with our new board members. It was a lovely meeting, and there was no relevant information to report.
Great, thank you. I'm the liaison for the School Boards Association. Nothing to report, just a reminder for everyone to finish their mandatory training if they have not yet done that. It's almost the end of the year.
I am curious, because we did have board members attend the school boards conference since the board meeting. And I know that we've, like board docs that you talked about was something we found there. Is that, anybody share a session or anything that they thought was valuable? Because we do spend time and money.
In the workshops?
Anybody, I just,
Well,
Yeah.
school docs I know we've spent a lot of time on.
For the workshops, I attended one on the school funding formula, which was actually really amazing, and I believe I forwarded everybody the slide deck for that one, because it broke it down. It was done by 2 board presidents sort of from South Jersey who were really into it, and it really broke down how they come up with the school funding formula. We don't get any of that equalization aid, though, so, but it's important to understand how they come up with what the adequacy budget is, and then how they determine what the local fair share is with their mystery modifiers. So that was really good. I actually attended another one on the values of stability with maintaining your same superintendent. That was really interesting. It looked at a lot of the data as to what happens when you have turnover in your business office and the direct correlation that it has with student academic scores.
You can present next year. We would love you.
Try to remember off the top. I know you went to the opt-out one that went over the new opt-out legislation. We went to one together.
They all kind of merge into.
Yeah, it was valuable to go to. I learned a lot, and I shared all the slide decks that I was able to that they posted. But I also find there's a lot of value in speaking to other boards and other presidents. You see the different ways that they do things. You hear about the different programs that they're using. We ran into somebody who was going on about an AI tutor. I think it was Washington Township. They got their scores up 40% in 1 year by
I was
using.
going to say, you did share that with me.
Yes.
Are you talking about the AI?
Amira AI, yeah.
Amira
Yeah.
AI.
Now they were in a bit of a different scenario because they write all of their curriculum, they wrote themselves. Like the teachers wrote all of it. They didn't have any programs or resources. Each individual teacher pulled their own thing. So they were really trying to come up with a more collaborative, comprehensive program. But she raved about Amira for quite a while. So
I'm just, again, the same way you're getting board certified and setting goals there, to participate, right, with other boards at a state level and make that commitment, because you do have to go down, right? It is a lot to do. And I know we've had, over the time I've been here, well, you aren't on the board yet, Mr. Kraft, sorry, but I think every other person who's here, Dory, Jessica, you, Danielle, Phyllis, have all had that opportunity, and it is valuable. So I'm glad that we're participating.
they have a lot of really interesting things there. I attended, I'm going to talk about it actually in my regionalization report, the legislative panel as well, and just understanding what the state is doing with regards to education and where they're focusing their energy on. It's helpful to
Save it. I just thought, like I said, since we haven't had a meeting since.
Yeah, no, it was good. It's very valuable. I've gone twice, and both times I went, I got a lot out of it. So it is a valuable conference for sure. I think that
I really liked when I heard Washington Township got their scores up 40%. I'm wondering what they did.
They were attributing it to the AI tutor. They felt, I was talking to the board president, it was like the ex-mayor, and they were raving about the program. Unfortunately, they weren't at school boards. I did look.
Oh, okay.
We'll find them.
Good.
Regionalization.
Regionalization report, that's me. So on October 30th, the Rowan School Regionalization Institute publicly presented its feasibility study on regionalization and shared services for the Watchung Hills Regional, Warren, Long Hill, Watchung, and Greenbrook school districts. I would like to thank the team leading the study as well as all members of the steering committee for their hard work to complete this report. Regionalization is often a topic of discussion in the community, and it is valuable to have the data necessary to understand the advantages and disadvantages of a regionalized district. But of particular import and interest was the work done on shared services. And we will be reviewing these recommendations and hopefully create new shared service programs that will benefit our staff and students. I do want to take this opportunity to share with you the findings of the report with regards to the tax impact of regionalization on the Watchung community. While regionalization has many benefits, The projected financial savings for the region were not dramatic, representing less than 2% of the overall combined budget. I recently attended a legislative panel discussion where State Senator O'Scanlan, who sits on the State Budget Committee, made a similar statement that regionalization is not a magic bullet, and unless it results in school closures, the savings are minimal. The report also reviewed traditional methods for the distribution of school taxes in a regionalized scenario. The study team reviewed the tax impact on each community under two models, one based on enrollment numbers and one based on property values. They then looked at tax impacts if these two models were combined at various ratios. In all scenarios, Watchung would experience a significant tax increase if it regionalized. This increase ranged from $1 million under an enrollment-based model to $2.6 million under the property value model. The reason for this is because the pre-K through 8 school tax rate for Watchung is lower than the surrounding districts. Basically, Watchung hasn't invested in its school district at the same rate as our neighbors. And if we regionalized, that would be corrected. The other districts would have a tax savings, and Watchung would have a tax increase. It is important to note that the high school has indicated that they will not be holding a vote to hold a referendum to regionalize in the near future. So please understand that this is a study and a snapshot in time as to what regionalization would look like if we did it today. The report goes into depth on the topics of demographics, education and programs, finance and operations, and governance and law. I encourage everyone to watch the presentation and read the report, both of which can be found on the high school's website.
And ours also.
And ours too?
Yep.
And our website.
We have a tab on the website.
Perfect. You have a report for MUG?
No, next meeting for me is December 4th.
Okay. Community engagement, do we have anyone from PTO? No? Okay. WEF? CPEG? Okay. Moving on to comments from the public on agenda items. We welcome input from the public. There are 2 times during the meeting when the public is invited to speak. The first opportunity to comment on agenda items only is now. The second opportunity for public comment is towards the end of the meeting. All comments are limited to 5 minutes. The total time allotted for public comment is 30 minutes. Before you make your comment, please state your name and municipality of residence. In the event it appears the public comment portion of the meeting may exceed 30 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 3 minutes duration. Our public forums are not structured as a question and answer session, but rather are offered as opportunities to share input with the board. In instances where the board feels a response is needed, the presiding officer or superintendent will address the comment. New Jersey statutes do not permit the board to discuss personnel or hiring in public session. Names of students should not be used. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of legal rights of those affected and identified in their comments, and should be aware that they are personally legally responsible with potential liability for comments that they make to the board. The board shall not be held liable for comments made by members of the public. We get a motion to go into executive session, whereas the Open Publics Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-11, permits the Board of Education to meet in closed session to discuss certain matters. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Education adjourns to closed session to discuss a matter rendered confidential by federal or state law, student matters. And further resolved, the minutes of this closed session be made public when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Action may be taken.
So moved.
A second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Adjourn to executive session. session. We're going to go back to the district update for 1 minute. Dr. Glazer has something else she'd like to share.
Sorry. So we had put out a thought exchange engagement that ended on Tuesday, specific to the district vision. The exchange was talking about the fact that the phrase excellence on the hill during strategic planning was embraced as a standard to strive for, almost a call to action, more so than a model. And the community at large was asked if the current district vision statement reflected our commitment to excellence, to achievement, to meaningful long-term outcomes for students and for our schools. We did have 13, if you remember how our surveys work, they're thoughts and then people rate the thoughts and comments. So there were 13 individual thoughts on the vision statement with 85 ratings, meaning people making comments and suggestions based on that. There were, of those 85 ratings, it broke down to about 7 buckets. I'll call them buckets because we use that during the strategic planning. And basically, the responses were, once again, very diverse. There were people that were concerned that success would only be measured by academics, by test scores or core subjects. There was a call, if you will, amongst those ratings to make sure that we were making sure that students felt supported, right? And that the definition of success, right, if they were supported, that they would feel successful, that the importance of exploration, critical thinking, inspiration, all of that led to excellence and achievement. And of the 85 ratings, 3.6 rating, that highest rating, was that the vision statement really reflected that it was all the ways that we looked to the future to make students successful. There was 3.6% that excellence on the hill is absolutely appropriate, right? That it states a goal, but again, well-being, well-rounded outcomes that include mental and social development are also important. So it's diverse. We will dig into it a little deeper. We got a wordle of keywords. There were also, just for the, because again, not good, bad, or otherwise, but the comments, as I said, were somewhat split because there were 7 responses, didn't come as high as the other ones, but it's important to acknowledge that, feel that the vision statement should start with some acknowledgement of excellence, academic excellence, right? That pursuit of academic excellence should be at the forefront, even if all of this other stays, right? That the support and that. So we will, again, this is a preview for our December State of the District and that, but I wanted to make sure since the survey ended, since we do have some exchange results, that I at least shared that it has closed and that of those 85 ratings, it is diverse. It will take a conversation, but for the overall, the alignment, that's what they call the engagement, the alignment with our current vision statement is determined to be high.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions? All right. We can move on to action items then. Mrs. Harvey, could you read action items under administrative?
Sure. I move 1, approve minutes of previous meeting. 2, approve the superintendent's HIB report. 3, approve New Jersey Quality Single Accountability Continuum NJQSAC.
District performance review. 4, approve revised 12-month employee calendar. 5, accept Bayberry and Valley View school security drills report. And 6, approve revised special education placement.
Thanks. Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Yep. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Amadeo,
Yes.
Mrs. Harvey,
Yes.
Mr. Kraft,
Yes.
Mrs. Maddox, Mrs. Jewett,
Yes.
Mrs. Agliaro,
Yes.
Mr. Frage, Mr. Gonzalez, and Mrs. Santos are absent. The motion passes.
Thank you. Mrs. Maddox, is your microphone working?
Yeah, now it is.
Can you move the items under personnel for me, please?
Move to approve appointment of leave replacement teacher. 2, approve Valley View 6th period coverage. 3, approve observation hours. 4, approve leave of absence. 5, approve salary guide level advancement 2025 through 2026. 6, approve paraprofessional for after-school activities at Valley View. 7, approve district substitute for the 2025-2026 school year. 8, approve to change substitute bus driver hourly rate. 9, approve Bayberry extracurricular position for 2025-2026. 10, approve revised Valley View extracurricular positions for 2025-2026.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call when you're ready.
Mrs. Amadeo,
Yes.
Mrs. Jewett,
Yes.
Mr. Kraft,
Yes.
Mrs. Harvey,
Yes.
Mrs. Maddox,
Yes.
Mrs. Agliaro,
Yes.
Mr. Frage, Mr. Gonzalez, Mrs. Santos are absent. The motion passes.
Thank you. Mrs. Amadeo, can you move the items under Operation Finance for me?
Yes, I can. I move item 1, approve payment of bills. Item 2, approve transfer of funds for 25-26. Item 3, accept financial reports. Item 4, approve payment application number 3 for Valley View Outdoor Learning Commons. Item 5, authorize submission of comprehensive maintenance plan and Form M1. Item 6, approve amendment to the cafeteria plan 2025, Section 125 flexible spending account. Item number 7, approve U.S. Omni and TSACG as the 403B, 457B plan administrator. Item 8, approve OOD Transportation Services Agreement with SCESC. Item 9, approve in-district transportation services agreement with SCESC. Item 10, approve updated professional service providers list. Item 11, accept donation of air fryer. Item 12, approve donation of projector. Item 13, authorize the sale of surplus obsolete equipment. Item 14, approve professional development, school business, and related expenses.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Okay. Mrs. Harvey,
Yes.
Mrs. Maddox,
Yes.
Mr. Kraft,
Yes.
Mrs. Jewett,
Yes.
Mrs. Amadeo,
Yes.
Mrs. Agliaro,
Yes.
Mr. Frage, Mr. Gonzalez, Mrs. Santos are absent. The motion passes.
Thank you. Mrs. Jewett, could you move the items under curriculum, please?
Okay, I move approve Learning and Language Disability LLD program at Bayberry School. Approve K-4 Mathematics and English Language Arts curriculum. Approve additional field trips for Bayberry School. All right,
Second.
wait, let me make sure that's.
You got them all.
That was it.
Any discussion?
That's it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Okay. Mrs. Harvey,
Yes.
Mrs. Amadeo,
Yes.
Mr. Kraft,
Yes.
Mrs. Jewett,
Yes.
Mrs. Maddox,
Yes.
Mrs. Agliaro,
Yes.
Mr. Frage, Mr. Gonzalez, Mrs. Santos are absent. Motion passes.
Thank you. Mrs. Amadeo, can you move the items under policy, please?
I move for a first reading, Policy and Regulation 3218, use, possession, or distribution of substances. Policy and Regulation 3281, inappropriate staff conduct. Policy 7436, drug-free workplace. Policy 1620, administrative employee contracts. Bylaw 0173, duties of public school accountant. Policy 5512, harassment, intimidation, and bullying. And I move for a second reading, Policy 2200, curriculum content.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to check, Dr. Glazer, because on my minutes, we had up for a first reading Regulation 5200 for attendance and Policy Regulation 4212, the support staff attendance.
I did not receive anything additional since the committee meeting.
Okay.
I know I texted you to ask, and I did see the follow-up email, but not for first reading. It'll have to be next.
Okay.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Jewett,
Yes.
Mr. Kraft,
Yes.
Mrs. Amadeo,
Yes.
Mrs. Harvey,
Yes.
Mrs. Maddox,
Yes.
Mrs. Agliaro,
Yes.
Mr. Frage, Mr. Gonzalez, Mrs. Santos are absent. The motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to board business. Anybody have anything they want to discuss? Any questions on the regionalization report or?
I just wanted to actually just add on to what you said, Jen, regarding the regionalization report, that the tax impact does seem insupportable for our district, but we should be investigating this disparity and looking at how the difference in what we're doing in our town versus the other sending districts is affecting our district, what that comparison is. And I'm hopeful that we can collaborate with the other district on the benefits and efficiencies of shared services in the meantime. And just one quick question, Dr. Glazer. We updated the calendar as part of this vote tonight?
No.
No?
So when we did the district calendar, so the 12-month employee calendar.
Right.
We did the district calendar. Theirs did not get updated. It still showed that Friday before Memorial Day off and June 2nd as a regular day. And
Okay.
those are the,
Okay. Thank you.
just flipped it.
As a result of the regionalization steering committee, a lot of the board members met the board members from the other sending districts, and we actually, as a result of this, had our first leadership meeting of the sending pre-K through 8 districts. It was a valuable experience, and so we've decided to continue that because what we do to a certain extent affects each other. And like I said before, networking as well. When you see how other districts are doing things and you have conversations about what worked and what didn't work for them, it's important information to have. So we're hoping to continue that in the future, in the new year.
Good.
Anyone else? No? Okay. I move on to comments from the public, but we have no public left. So get a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Woohoo. And Danielle, we are